Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit. My name is Afa Salif Usman is also in the studio with me. Welcome to today's edition of Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Ashu.
All right, for today's edition of Sports Orbit, we'll begin straight from the Super Eagles. Of course, the Super Eagles will be in action once again later tonight as they take on the Squirrels of Benin Republic in an all-important 2026 World Cup qualifier, which has been dubbed a must-win encounter for the Super Eagles. Recall that on Friday, the Super Eagles played out a 1-1 draw against South Africa, and that has left Nigeria in a really delicate position as it concerns qualification for the World Cup. So, in fact, before we even go to this analysis of the match proper, let's do a small review of the match against South Africa, where, just like me and so many other Nigerians, nobody was impressed with that match, even though, according to Finidi, he was saying a draw is better than a win. Agreed, but I didn't expect South Africa to come and even get a draw here in Nigeria.
Yeah, well, there are three results in any football match. Either you draw, you lose, and then you get a win. But when some matches are very crucial, you throw all this at your disposal into the game to get the needed result. And going into that match, the clamor and the cry and the need for every Nigerian, every expectation or all hope of Nigeria was to get a victory against South Africa, because a victory will give us opportunity that we have our own destiny of qualifying for the World Cup in our own hands. At the moment, by that draw, now we have to live on the favor from another people. Even though we keep on winning our matches, we need a favor from other people for other results to go in our favor for victory to work and not come. So yes, it is better that we draw rather than lose. Remember, South Africa scored in the end of the first half, about 20 something minutes, and it take us a long time before we were able to equalize in about 60 something minutes in the second half through Dele Bashir. Thank for Dele Bashir for that intervention for him to arrest too. But one thing that is very significant, and what a lot of people has keep on saying, and which the judge has refused to provide an adequate answer to it, was that his formation. Everybody was totally dissatisfied how he come with that plan, particularly of playing Onashu ahead of Boniface in the striking role. Is the expectation that if Victor Osimhen is in absence of Victor Osimhen, the right person to that striking position is Boniface. And if you are not able to use Boniface, I would prefer having Terra Murphy in that place than to have Onasho. Yes, I don't know what he informed his decision. He is the coach, he knows better, but even though you know better, and at the end of the day, your calculation, your competition really give you the result. Your guess, you try to give a try, and the try does not work. You have to explain. But after warming, and at the same time, the most dissatisfying thing, after allowing Victor Osimhen to warm up, Boniface to warm up, and still you allow him to warm up, and still going to sit down on the bench. So South Africa came with a game plan. The game plan, let's go to Nigeria and get a draw. Exactly. And they get it. And you can see how the coach was satisfied with that draw. Now they believe that they have their destiny in their own hand. If they get down their 4 points, we are just 3 points. I'm just saying that we are still very lucky in this game, in this qualifying process. We are very lucky that I can't imagine that we are, after playing 3 matches, we are still within the range of able to trying to catch up if we take the right decision or begin to win our matches. Because at the moment the group is being led by Lesotho. Lesotho leading the group with 5 points, followed by Rwanda with 4 points, followed by South Africa with 4 points, and then Nigeria is fifth on the log. It's now fifth on the log. Lesotho is leading by 4 points, 5 points. Rwanda 4 points, Benin Republic 4 points, South Africa 4 points. No, Benin Republic has 3 points.
3 points.
Has 3 points, same as Nigeria. South Africa has 4 points. South Africa is third on the log, Benin Republic is fourth on the log, and while we are fifth on the log, we have the same 3 points. But for we to play 3 matches without getting a win, and we are still within the range, it shows that
the group is very open.
The group is very open, and so other results is still favoring us. But starting from today's game, I don't think we'll be lucky again if we refuse to take the right decision and get the needed victory in this match tomorrow.
Of course, moving on from that, for Wilfred Ndidi, he said playing against former Super Eagles coach Gennard Rohr will be an extra motivation ahead of the game. Recall that Gennard Roy used to be Super Eagles coach and currently is the head coach of the Squirrels of Benin Republic, and he feels it's a motivation. But one thing with this kind of game is, a couple of these boys have played under Gennard Roy. He knows them very well, so that could also be very tricky.
Yeah, that's also very tricky. A couple of those boys, like if you let what Wilfred say, yes, a couple of those boys have played Oga Gennaro. He knows the capability and he knows the capacity of individual player, and he can cut out a tactic or information that can neutralize whatever move the Super Eagles want to make. But the one thing is that there's also some new faces in the teams. Ways can throw, I don't know. For instance, man was not too very regular, active during the run. Even
same for Boniface.
Same thing to Boniface if he get to play today. And at the same time, this guy Onyeka, I was also wonder what Onyeka
at some point you
didn't play in that match.
You bring him in, but
because if you look at the defensive, who in the absence of the defender, you don't have this guy was not there. Aina was absent. Kenneth Omero was absent. Truth Ekon was absent. And still, if you decide to play Wilfred ahead of Frank, I could have said that you could have crafted the play way to bring in a way you can accommodate two of them in the middle to give active support to the midfield. But he allowed Frank to sit on the bench. So Frank was not a regular throughout the so I need Finidi Jones and his coaching crew need to carve out a tactic that will be able to neutralize whatever plan Gennaro is going to have in this game. Just like you say, what you say is very key. God Gennaro know all those players and he know individuals' capability and what the individuals can do. He know the speed and their tactics. So we have to be very, very, very careful into this game. And like he's talking, Gennaro is already talking very strong.
No, of course. I mean, like you rightly said, the Squirrels of Benin Republic are going out for an all-out win against Super Eagles of Nigeria. So, meaning they won't play defensive or sit back and wait for. They will go all out and play the game as it should be.
I think George has to be very, very careful, and his team has to be very careful because what I'm going to say is likely to going to play out in the first 45 minutes, in the first 50 minutes of the match. The Republic are going to come out in full attack. They're going to come with the full force to attack, and if they come out to attack, just to ensure that they get early goal. And then go back to the defense, and that is going to be very difficult for us. And we have to be very, very careful on how we do and how we counter the whatever plan Rod and his team is going to be. So, but this match, just like you say, yes, on head to head, we have dominated Benin Republic in the past, but football is dynamic these days. Things can change. You can't continue to rely on your past, and that's why we must have the bottom. And coming to this game, Benin Republic are fully motivated because getting the victory against a Rwanda who was topping the group before give them additional motivation. But we are coming from a very down, a very low edge. Plenty of matches without the victory, and if you look at what are those opponents we play, apart from South Africa that you can say relatively strong, we play a very weak team and we couldn't beat them. That will can give extra motivation to Benin Republic to come all half of the respect the other African team used to have for Nigeria before is no longer there.
Exactly, clearly. So I think this is a match that Super Eagles and the coaches must play with caution because, as it is clearly, we are the ones under pressure.
We are doing under pressures, and at the same time, as much as we have to play with caution, this is not the time to sit at the back to defend. He must find a very strong attacking to confront Benin from the blast of the whistle to the end. I don't even ever say that scoring one goal, 2 goals to be we should go all out and forth. And I pray that God of soccer favor the Super Eagles tonight. This evening, and to ensure that we'll get the needed result. George and his team must very ensure that we have a very compact midfield that can be able to contest Benin and not allow the Benin to go beyond to pass through the midfield easily.
Very well. All right, that's that for that. The match comes up later this evening. I think 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Nigerian time in Abidjan. So we will be, keeping an eye on those one. But I mean, just aside, it's quite unfortunate that the Super Eagles will play matches and Nigerian fans are struggling to watch it.
But even the match that was playing Nigeria,
Exactly.
it was
It was very, very embarrassing.
People have to resort to their phone to watch the match.
Very
And I think these are some of the things. I don't know what is the function of it. There's something federal government and the government of Nigeria need to take into cognizance. Particularly, we have a national television. So
Exactly.
to find a way, as part of corporate responsibility, to bring this game to Nigeria. What are you
That's
doing?
what we're saying. You don't even NT shouldn't
You
be
can
waiting
go-
to be paid to do anything. They
No,
are
you
a
can go-
public. They are being
Yes,
financed
yes,
with public payers' money.
tax money.
So if Nigeria has this kind of event, in the past, I know that once Nigeria was playing at home,
Yeah,
you don't even think twice. You
yes.
know that
NTA
definitely
is going
NTA
to
must
show
show it. But I don't know what has
So I
changed
don't know what I'm saying because
over
of
the
money.
years.
And
Exactly.
NTA should know that yes, private institution, everything is being tried to be monetized, but
Well,
NTA should
NTA is
know
a government
anything
institution.
should know that they are not set up for a
Exactly.
business purpose.
Yes, it's a
There are
government
some
institution.
public responsibility, that they must provide that service to Nigeria because Nigeria deserves to have it. You can't have a national
How
team.
often do will okay on June 12th, if there's going to be a parade at Eagle Square, will NTA not be there?
100% there.
Exactly. The day
100%
Tinubu was being
there.
sworn in was NTA not there.
NTA live. And if
These are national
apart from even for this, and if the wife of the president is actually a functioner, NTA will be there to transmit it
These are
live.
national engagement. Then a whole national team is playing and you can't even transmit live.
Which is
I
even
think-
more important to
important.
whatever event the
In
president
fact,
is
that
holding.
Friday match, I was I was not happy at all because we're going from channels to channels, all kinds of channels, and
But maybe because of this digitalization, NTA have also come to realize that Nigerians are no longer even interested in their station.
no, but I mean, this are
That's
the,
just
but these are the kind of times that they should
You need-
bring
yeah,
back
to use-
Nigerian. Exactly, you know that
yes.
since you're the only
Thank
one,
you very much.
your viewership will be very high on that day.
That's an opportunity for
Exactly.
them to get back their
Their
audience.
viewership, which is quite unfortunate. Well, somehow we'll find a way of seeing this match tonight, and of course, when we come back on our next edition, we'll give you the post-match analysis. At this point, we'll go on a break. When we come back, Sport Up continues. Don't go nowhere.
Discover Turkey through education. The culture-rich country of Turkey, which has hosted a myriad of civilizations through the centuries, is a global pioneer in education. Turkey offers various lucrative opportunities for students. Despite its quality living standard, the cost of living in Turkey is affordable compared to other European countries. A diploma from globally recognized and renowned universities in Turkey will open every door for you. For more information, visit leadership.ng/study in Turkey.
All right, welcome back from that break. It's still Sports Orbit. Now let's go to the NPFL. Of course, there was this long anticipated match between table toppers Rangers versus Eyimba, known as the Oriental Derby. So many of us had looked forward to that encounter. Of course, interesting encounter it was, but unfortunately, it didn't end up the way a lot of football fans had hoped. It had ended. Of course, the match was 0-0 until the dying minutes of the match, where a penalty was awarded against visiting Eyimba, who did not take that decisions correctly, and in the process, there was an invasion of the pitch. The match was later abandoned and ended 0-0. Salifu, I mean, we've seen reviewed clips of, even as of yesterday, I reviewed clips of that match severally. Well, the juries are, while some said it's a penalty, for me, I feel, sometimes there's something called a soft touch. Yes, in fact, before I came into the studio, I had to go through some, FIFA statutes to see what constitutes a penalty. Sometimes a touch might be so soft that, it depends on the referee's discretion. And for me, in that match, I felt the player, over exaggerated that thought. Yes, fine, there was a minor contact, which I believe most referees would have waved it off, but I think the player over exaggerated and the referee awarded a penalty which didn't go down. But be that as it may, the normal standard is, and we've seen this thing in the EPL sometimes, EPL rules against you sometimes, but you can't say that you are not going to play the match because EPL rules against you. So for me, I feel the NPFL should take strong sanctions against Enyimba. That was very unsportsmanlike. Yeah, you can say it was a penalty. We are not happy about it. But walking off the pitch, abandoning a match is something that in senior times you should be sanctioned.
Yeah, I think you have said this all. Just like say the match is actually lives off to his pre-match view. It was quite amazing.
Amazing.
I couldn't believe that.
Full stadium was full to the brim.
This is Nigeria.
Exactly.
I thought it's one of those APL games, or it was of the or a World Cup matches. The stadium was filled beyond its capacities, and it was quite interesting watching that game. It was actually, I think I was trying to raise it that the Nigerian league has come up of age, but unfortunately until that show of shame toward the end. And just like you see, I think there's nothing to add or to subtract. Whatever way, whichever way you stand or whichever way you look at it, Enyimba's were at fault. Yes, we are at fault in a sense that you have to be very professional.
Like they say, referee decision is final.
Referee decision is final. Either referee decision go against you, or whatever enemy you have process of laying your complaint through the right channel, not to take law into your own hand, invading the pitch. And I think I blame the players of Enyimba for not being professional at all. We have seen, yes, sometimes players overreact, but you need to control your temper.
Exactly.
Your temper. Some of them even try to go after the referee, which is very, very unfair. Yeah. To me, they instigated the fans invasion into the pitch. The Enyimba players instigated, because if they have not reacted, they have not overreacted, the fans would have gone into the pitch. And NFF or whoever has connected, we are not generating that what the decision the referee take was right, but. And that is why, if you watch the league from the start of this season, both the NNL and everybody, they have tried to sanction the referee who go contrary to the rule of the game, who have tried to go give bad officiating to the league. None of them has alleviated. Whoever officiated badly have been sanctioned severally this season. So Enyimba could have gone ahead and still play that match. God knows you be that may not even be scored. Exactly. So, but abandon the match. That has been played to the end, to the end of the day. To me, it was terribly wrong and it was bad of Enyimba. Enyimba is supposed to so a typical example, a perfect example, should be a role model for other clubs in Nigeria. Because if you look at by rank or whatever enemy you look at, Enyimba is ranked ahead of any other club in Nigeria. They are ranking ahead of any other club in Nigeria.
Even based on Africa, Enyimba is a well-known club based on their past
performance. Based on their past everything, a club that have won Africa Championship back to back, a club that have represented the country several, who have won more APL titles than any other. So it should also be a good example, a role model for other clubs to copy. But for them to show that character yesterday is totally bad. And NPFL need to come heavily
because up to now there's no statement, there's nothing yet out. From the NPFL, exactly.
And that's one of the things that also increase consign.
Yeah,
it gives a lot of consign. When short a situation happens, it's yesterday.
It's almost 24 hours. We are yet to hear anything. Any official statement
up to this moment,
from the league body or from the
NFF. Even come out with a casual statement. Well, we are standing up, we are reviewing the situation, or we are looking at the situation, we are going to come out. Not everybody just keep moving, and it's totally terrible. But I think NPFL and the Nigerian Football Federation need to take a decision that will automatically end fan invasion or the player taking the law into their pitch in this country.
Exactly. All right. Of course, some other matches also went down in the NPFL. If we have those results, we'll take a look at them. Of course, for Lobby Stars, that's another match to watch against Remo Stars, and surprisingly, they won that one 3-2 against Remo Stars, further denting the hopes of Remo Stars.
Like I said before the match in our preview, I picked Remo Stars playing the way to Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars is strong at the moment, but I don't see Remo Stars getting the needed result in Lafia, which Lobby Stars have adopted as their home ground this season.
And automatically good result also for relegation threatening Heartland 3-1 against Doma United in that one.
Well, let's hope that will be able that will be able to give them some rescue move. But it's a good move.
Of course, another shocking one. Gombe United already almost. I think it's almost done and dusted for them. 4-0 it was against Kasina United.
Gombe United is already restricted. Gombe United is already gone to the relegation, and good result for Kasina United 4-0.
Yeah.
And you can see that if you look at the result on the table, it clearly shows that we are approaching the end of the league. Yeah, even Canopy were holding one draw by Niger Tornadoes in Kano. Plateau United get a better result against Kora United. That's interesting. Abia Warriors and Benin Insurance Seed and ended 0-0.
Yeah.
So by United Sporting Lagos also to draw. So it's quite interesting. But the table still remain the same.
Yeah.
Ranger is still leading with 62 points, followed by Enyibas and Remo. They are still both of them are on equal points, 62 points. Followed by Remo. Remo still maintain their position despite going down against Lobista and Shooting Star of Ibadan. Following will find the fourth position. So,
but that result for Lobby Stars did them some favor. If they are lucky enough, they might end up with a continental ticket because they're just 1 point behind Shooting Stars.
1 point, which continental ticket?
Of course, the Federal.
No, we have 2 Champions League slots.
Yeah, and two for.
So one continental ticket, one continental for Federation Cup.
Federation Cup.
Because the winner of the President Cup take over the.
Since Canopilas are not even in the top 4, so that's understandable.
So and as it is now, that defeat is still open. Lobby Stars have a chance; they can still finish third if they win their remaining matches and pray that the Remo side didn't win or any of the. And you can still even contesting for a title. Still Lobby Stars can still contest for a title because 3 months to go. We're talking of 9 points, but the only way they can achieve that one is to ensure that both lobbies, Remo Star, Enugu and Enyiba Star, all their matches. But their battle matches yesterday is like that. They recorded 1 point for both as recorded as 0-0.
Yeah.
Because if the Rangers and Enyiba are still tied on the same point, clearly show that they have added got on 61 before. Now they are on 62. So they have recorded this result as a draw.
Yeah.
But I think NPFL need to explain and come out and take a strong position that will be clear to Nigerians.
I agree with you. All right, let's go to some athletics now, where Temitope Adesina became the first Nigerian woman to scale a height of 1.97 meters in high jump after her superb performance in the final of the Collegiate Championship in the US yesterday, and of course that has also given her a ticket to the Paris Olympic coming up next month. So I mean, congratulations to her in that high jump event. So so at least she has also booked a ticket to the Paris Olympic.
Yeah, congratulations to her, and we're having more athletes, and I hope that you not just a ticket, but qualifying for an Olympic is an achievement. So either he made to the podium or whatever. So be an Olympian is a lifetime dream of any athlete to compete at the Olympics. So for her to earn a ticket to the Paris Olympic not on a normal process but on ordinary through an additional event qualification and get that qualification with even a record. So clearly show that yes, congratulations, he has made our mark, and congratulate and hope that he will be able to justify her qualifications at the Paris Olympic. One thing is to qualify, and one thing is to also to make an impact and the Olympic.
Right, let's go to some football news now, this time involving Real Madrid, where Coach Ancelotti has explained that the La Liga giants will likely not take part in FIFA's expanded World Club competition next season. And according to him, some other clubs other than Madrid will also not take part. And one of his main reasons is that FIFA are offering each participating club 20 million euros to participate. And Ancelotti said, look, you're offering us 20 million to participate in the tournament. This is the money we get from playing just one match. So it means that you are undervaluing a club like Madrid, paying us 20 million to take part in a tournament when we make this money in playing just one match?
Well, everything is being commercialized. And at the same time, one thing, so apart from the money that is involved or the prize fee, for instance, the money you spend to play the World Cup, you can't recoup it.
Yeah.
And at the same time, even the league you create from one apart from their own personal ticket sale or this thing, they're getting money. So qualifying playing for an international competitions will not give you the exact money to spend to recoup that money. But one thing that I will agree with him that FIFA is beginning to trying to create more avenue to make more money.
Yeah.
But if you are creating more money, which is good for every organization want to make more money. Getting more avenue to get money, we are increasing the team for participation of World Cup to 32. That is a very big event. Yeah. The total World Cup before is 32 teams, and now before they now increase it, and now you are not want to create just a club World Cup. You create a World Cup to be like another World Cup. That puts more pressures and more game on the player. They should consider the human factors involved, because you can't expect the player to play all the league rounds. And then there's a continental competition. They also play in continental competition, represent their country on the other continent. Then you now come again for another World Cup for those players to go and play in the another club World Cup.
Don't forget that. I think just 2 weeks ago, the Players Union came out to say, look, if FIFA continues in this way, they might result to go on a strike because the competitions are beginning to become too much for the players.
Yes.
Now players don't even have enough time to rest. The leagues ended 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Euro starts next week.
Next week.
While for the South America, Copa America, it's ongoing. Then the Olympic is still there. Don't forget that some of these players might play Euro and might still be called up to play in the Olympics.
And at the same time, some of them also play what called qualifiers. It's also in the process. So there's more burden, more pressures on the players, and FIFA need to consider this. So you need the players to play the World Cup to play this, and without the player, there will no FIFA. So that's to be very considerate. FIFA should be thinking about the human factors, not just about money, to creating more ability to make money to enrich yourself as executive of the body. You should have key in the factor of the players, because just like you say. You play a marathon season. You just know you are going for the now for the Europe, and after the Europe, like before the Europe, and Europe is going to take like more than a month. Yeah. And after the next season will start by August. So there's more pressures on the players. The players need to consider it. Now create another World Cup, another long World Cup of 32 teams. So and apart from the money as a little is even agitating, I'm total support of. If they say they're not good, they try to cancel that World Cup. I don't even think what is the importance of that World Cup. Most clubs don't even attach the importance to even players don't even celebrate that win the club World Cup.
All right. Well, before we leave the studio, of course, talking about a Madrid player also this time Vinicius Junior, where some fans who had racially abused him, 3 of them actually have been given a 12-month sentence for that act. I think it's a right step in the right development, because it's time when, racist abuse goes beyond just a federation coming out to issue statement banning a player for 2 matches from attending some matches. And I think a prison sentence, 12 months, this should serve as a deterrent to others who are planning to engage in such.
See, I'm so come with this decision to have sentencing those players, those fans in the prison. Even though 1 day they spend in jail, is going to that escort that they have been jailed before. Somebody somewhere within a certain fans was jailed. Because of abusing the players, because of racism. So it will go a long way in serve as a deterrent, or even not possibly ending the racism in football. And I also commend Vinicius Junior to be very vocal.
He's very vocal. Yeah.
He's very, very vocal. He has also accused, because after those fans in the match against Valencia, he was too sure that point out the particular player who abused him and call him monkey or call him also unpretended name. He pointed at this player, and even when the Spanish FE or the league refused to take a decision, he also accused them that they have adopted the league racism. Like racism is a normal thing in the Spanish league, and that triggered the Spanish authority to come up and begin to follow. And it's good that they have ended and have frustrated in jail these fans.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's some good news. We hope that other federations because these things happen sometimes in the likes of Italy. England is being reduced to a barest minimum,
Yeah,
but every now and then we
no.
hear incidents of this
But
happening. So,
to some extent, you can see that
yeah,
England is more
very,
free,
very, very well.
unlike what players suffer in Italy, suffer in
Spain,
the Spanish. Even to
exactly.
some, even till, I think it is even more vocal in Spanish now.
Yeah.
That even Italy that we used to know before,
Exactly.
Italy has become
Exactly. Yeah.
to a bit reduced to various minimum. But Spanish has become so
Very
very
well.
notorious for being known for racism abuse.
All right. With that, we'll call it a day on today's edition of the program. But don't forget, of course, we'll keep an eye on Super Eagles this to 4. So maybe in roughly another hour's time, the Eagles will be in action once again. I mean, what more can we do but to wish them luck in this one today, hoping they bag all 3 points in this evening's encounter against Squirrels of Benin Republic. Thank you for being in studio on today's edition.
Okay.
All right, we'll come your way later in the week again. Oh, sorry, weekend rather. Until then, do have a wonderful time. My name is Afacho, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080 3688 61